Hi all, welcome to the channel Cracking the Front-End Interview. In this video, I'll be giving you a brief introduction to various properties and behavior related to var, let and const. So first of all, let us try to understand what are var, let and const. So var, let and const are the three different ways to declare a variable in JavaScript. You can also see some examples of how we can use them to declare variables. Let and const were introduced in the ES6 version in 2015. Prior to that, only var was used to declare variables. Why new methods were introduced to declare variables? So there were certain shortcomings of var keyword due to which let and const were introduced. So we will be discussing all the differences between all three of them in terms of scoping, behavior and hoisting. So scoping. Scope is mainly of two types in JavaScript, function scope and block scope. So in this example, there are two function scopes created by function foo and function bar, and there is one block scope created by an if statement. Function scope is created within the function and the block scope is within the curly braces. So here if statement is creating a block scope, and that block scope is limited within the set of these two curly braces. Now second one is behavior. Behavior is mainly related to the redeclaration and update of variable declared using any of those methods. In behavior, we will be mostly talking about like how a variable would behave if I try to redeclare that variable or update that particular variable. So there are differences in terms of behavior if I declare a variable using var or let. And the third one is hoisting. So hoisting is a concept which allows you to use the variable early and declare it at a later stage in the code. In this example, I have used foo before I initialize it to 10. So every variable created with the different method behaves differently. So let us now discuss all of them in detail. So let us talk about var. So before ES6, var was the only available way to declare variables in JavaScript. Let us talk about scoping, behavior and hoisting in var. So first is scoping. So var declares either a function scope or a globally scoped variable. So let us see an example, simple example. Here I will create a simple function called solve, and inside that function I will declare a variable called foo and will initialize it with 10. Now I will simply log the value of 10 and try to print it in the console. Let me call that function and save that code. And as you can see in the console, it prints the value 10. So now let us do one more thing. Let me try to print the value here also. Let me call it foo1. Let me save this, and so if I try to run this, you can see that in first console foo is equal to 10, but in the second console it is not defined. I'm getting a reference error here that foo is not defined. A variable that is declared using a var keyword can be accessed only inside a function in which it is declared. So here my variable foo is declared inside solve function, so its value can only be accessed within the solve function and we cannot access its value outside that function. That is why I told you in the beginning that var keyword creates a function scoped variable. Its value is limited to this particular function only and it cannot be accessed outside this function. So now if I modify this code by adding an if block, so let me add an if block here, simple if statement, and let me redeclare variable foo and initialize it with 20. Let me try to print it inside this if block as well as outside this if block. Okay, and let us delete this particular line because anyway it will give a reference error. So now let's run this code and let me write foo1 here. So now if I try to run this code, let us see what happens. So you can observe that the modify value of foo can be accessed outside the if block also, because if creates a block scope, not a function scope. Function scope is created only by functions. So now let us modify this code once again and let us replace that if block with another function. So if I do this function solve, okay, and here I'll call solve2. Now if I try to run this code, let us see what happens. So now here the console will print 10. So if you can observe, the foo3 is printing 10 here because var foo is equal to 20 is declared inside of solve2 and its lexical scope is limited to that particular function only. So var foo is equal to 20 is only accessible inside this particular function because this function creates another function scope. So now in this example there are two function scopes created by solve and solve2. This was an example of a function scope variable. Now in the beginning I told you that var creates either a function scope variable or a globally scoped variable. So let us see one example of globally scoped variable. Let me delete this particular code. And if I simply write where foo is equal to 10, and then I try to log the value of foo, and then window dot foo. So window is our global object here that is being exposed by the browser. So it is a global object. I have not declared this variable foo is equal to 10 inside any function, rather it is declared globally. So if I try to run this example, you can observe that foo2 also prints 10. And here if I just try to show you the content of window object, window is a global object. So here you can see that foo is equal to 10 exists in window object. Why? Because if we declare variables using var keyword outside of any function, then they become part of the global object. Now second thing related to var is behavior. So in behavior we will be discussing like redeclaration and updation of variable. So variables declared using var can be redeclared and updated. So let us see one example. Let me create a function, and inside that var foo is equal to 10. Okay, I have declared a variable foo and initialized with value 10. Now I will again declare a variable called foo and initialize it with value 30. So in this case, the value of my foo variable will be updated to 30. See, it's no longer 10. So this particular statement has no effect. It basically prints a modified value. So, but this particular code is very error prone, but JavaScript does not throw any error. So similarly, a variable can be updated if declared using var. You cannot declare a read-only variable using var. So this was an example of redeclaration, which is very error prone, and that is why you should avoid using declaring variables using var keyword. Let us see one example related to updation of variable. So let me create another function solve2, and in this var foo is equal to 10, and let me update its value foo is equal to 20. Now if I try to run this, you can see foo2 prints 20. With the help of this example, you get to know that we cannot use var keyword to declare a read-only variable in JavaScript. These were certain shortcomings of var keyword that is why let and const were introduced. So the third thing is hoisting. So as I already told you what hoisting is, variables declared with var are always taken to the top of the current function scope. So what do I mean by this? Let me create function once again, and let me try to print the value of variable before its declaration. So as you can see, I am trying to print the value of foo variable before its declaration. So let's see what happens. So in this case, it prints undefined because compiler interprets this particular function as, if I just comment it out. So in this case, this example is equivalent to this example. Variable declaration is moved to the top of the function scope, and if we try to access it before its initialization, it will simply return undefined. So in this case, the variable declaration is moved to the top of the function scope. So let us now discuss about let. So let was introduced in the ES6 version, and it creates a block scope variable. Their scope is limited to the curly braces only. Also, the variable redeclaration is not allowed in let, which was one of the shortcomings of var. So let us see some code examples. So here I have created a solve function empty, which is empty now. As I already told you that let declares a block scope variable. So let me write some code here. Let foo is equal to 10. I will print the value of foo here. Now in this example, I will write an if statement, and if statement creates a block scope. And let me try to declare the foo again inside this if statement and print its value as well. And once more, I will print the value of foo outside this if block. Let us run this code. So as you can see, foo1 prints 10 and foo3 also prints 10 because let creates a block scoped variable, and in this case, if creates a block scope, and that is why in this case, foo1 is equal to 10, foo2 is equal to 20, because here I have modified the value of foo, and again after this block scope ends, foo3 again prints 10. So let us try one more example. If I now replace it with a function, let me call this function solve2. Okay, let me assign it to 30. So here also solve2 creates another scope, and foo's updated value is limited to this scope only. So that is why its value is 30 inside this scope and 10 outside of that scope. And one more thing, unlike var, let does not create a property on the global object. If I remove this and try to write the code outside the function in the global scope, So as you can see, if I declare a variable using let keyword outside of any function, like in the global scope, its value does not get into the global scope. Like if I try to print window here, you will not see foo here. So this is one of the advantage of using let keyword. So let's say by mistake I declare my variable with the name length and I assign it to 10. So if I declare it using a var keyword, then this property could have been modified and it can cause error in our code. But if I declare this variable using let keyword, then it won't modify any property. So now let us come down to the behavior part of the let. So variables declared using let cannot be redeclared but can be updated. So let us see one example. Let me create a function solve. Okay, inside that let foo is equal to 10. So let me modify its value by redeclaring it and let us try to print it. So let's see what will happen in this case. So see, we got an error. Identifier foo has already been declared. So that means you cannot redeclare a variable if it is already declared using a let keyword. Okay. So if I try to use var here, then also I cannot redeclare it because I have previously declared it using let keyword. If I create another block scope here, like using if statement, I can redeclare the same variable again. I'm not getting any error and it's printing 10 because in this case this particular block scope is different and this value would not interfere with this let foo is equal to 10. So I can do that. Now let us see an example of updation. In this example I will update foo's value to 20 and let us see what happens. So a variable can be updated if it is declared using let keyword. You cannot declare a read only variable using let. So there is one more advantage of using let keyword is in JavaScript there is no native method to create a private variable. You need to use closures to create a private variables in JavaScript. But if you use let, you can also declare a private variables without the use of closures. So let us see one example here. So let me remove this code and create a block like this, and inside this let me do let foo is equal to 10, and inside that let me create one function also where increment is equal to function, and inside that I will just increment foo and return it. And outside this block let me call this increment function and see the value of foo and try to print the value of foo directly. So if I try to print the value of this function, okay, let us try to run this code. The value is getting incremented if I call this function, because this function can access this variable foo because they exist in the same block. So this function can access foo and increment its value and then can return its value. But outside that particular block I cannot access variable foo. So that is why I'm getting an error like foo is not defined. No one can modify or read the value of foo directly outside its block. So in a way you can create a private variable using let keyword. Now let us talk about hoisting. Unlike var, which returns undefined if we use the variable before their declaration, let variable cannot be read before they are fully initialized. Basically, you will get an error if you try to read a variable that is declared using let keyword before its initialization. For example, let us again create a function solve. I will try to print the value of foo, and in the next line I will declare and initialize foo with 10. Okay. See, I am using let keyword here, and when I call this function, then see what happens. So here in the case of var, I was getting undefined here, but in this case I am getting cannot access foo before its initialization. Okay, so that means hoisting does not work for the variables that are declared using let keyword, but that does not mean like hoisting does not exist for variables declared using let keyword. So if any interviewer asks you like how does hoisting works for the variables declared using let keyword, then you should always say like hoisting exists for the variables which are declared using let keyword, but in this case you will get a reference error. Why I'm saying this? Because in this case I have declared a variable called foo, and when I'm trying to access foo I'm getting this error, and in this error the name of the variable is also mentioned here. So this error is coming because of the temporal dead zone or TDZ. So now what is TDZ? So this is an example of temporal dead zone. It starts at the beginning of the scope and ends at initialization. Between the starting and ending of the temporal dead zone, if I try to access the value of that particular variable, I will always get a reference error. So this is all about let. Now let us discuss about const. So const was also introduced in ES6 version along with let. It also creates a block scoped variable which is limited to the curly braces only. So variable redeclaration is not allowed in const, and variable updation is also not allowed, which means it can be used to create read-only variables. So the only difference between let and const is that const can create a read-only variable as well. So let us discuss some examples of const. So first is scoping. As I already told you that const declares a block scoped variables which is same as let. So let us quickly discuss an example. Const foo is equal to 10. Then we will log the value of foo here. Then there is an if statement. If true, const foo is equal to 20. Log the value of foo again. Here again print the value of foo. Now let us quickly run this example. So as you can see, the output is same as that of let. So if statement creates a different block scope inside this solve function. So the value inside this if statement is different. And similar to let, const also does not create any property on global object. So if I just comment this code out and try to write this const foo is equal to 10 in the global scope, and then try to log the value of foo, and then log the value of window.foo. Foo2 is undefined here. So this property is same as that of let. So let us quickly come down to the behavior part. So variables declared using const cannot be redeclared and updated. It allows us to create read-only variables, but there is a little caveat here which we will be discussing in this section only. Let us discuss a simple example first. Function solve const foo is equal to 10. Again I try to redeclare the same variable. Const foo is equal to 20, and then if I try to log this and call this function solve, see the error. Identifier foo has already been declared. So it is same as that of let. If we cannot redeclare a variable if it is declared using const. Now the main difference between let and const is we cannot even update the value if it is declared using a const keyword. So here I am trying to update the value of foo with 20. So see, I am getting a different error, type error, assignment to a constant variable. Updation of a variable declared using a const keyword is not allowed. So const can be used to declare a read-only variables. But there is a little caveat here, like if I try to create an object here. So now if I try to update the value of a property, then see, I am able to update the value. So if you initialize a constant variable with an object, it behaves differently because const only prevents updating those values where memory reference gets changed. So let me show you one diagram to make it more clear. So in this example, as you can see, I have declared a variable a using const and initialize it with 5. When I write this line, then variable a occupies some space in the memory at this particular location. Okay, and in the next line, if I try to update the value of a with some other value, then this line occupies a different space in the memory. So in this case, the memory reference gets changed. So for primitive values like string, number or boolean, const keyword does not allow change of memory reference. That is why it shows an error, assignment to a constant operator. But in the case of object, so if I declare an object using const keyword and I try to update any existing property of that particular object, then in that case the memory reference does not change, only the value is updated. So in this case the memory reference remains the same. So that is why it does not show any error, and it simply updates the value of any property which exists on the object. So now let's come to the hoisting part. So hoisting part is similar to the let. Variables declared using const keyword cannot be read before they are fully initialized. So if you try to access the value before their declaration, it will result into a reference error. Let me remove this and copy this line and take it to the top. And if I try to run this, see, I am getting a reference error, cannot access foo before initialization. So it is same as that of let. So it also follows the concept of temporal dead zone that we have already discussed in the let section. Let and const are similar in terms of scoping and hoisting, only their behavior is little different. Const can be used to create read-only variables as well. So let and const were basically introduced to overcome some of the shortcomings of var keyword. Here is a little cheat sheet for you which can help you during an interview. If you remember these basic properties, then you can able to answer any of the question related to these keywords. So in this table, all the things that we have discussed so far are mentioned, like where was the way to declare a variable before ES6, and it creates a variable which are function scoped, and it can be redeclared and can be updated, and it is also hoisted. Similarly, for let and const, they are introduced in the ES6 version. They both are block scoped. So the only difference is like let can be updated, const cannot be redeclared and cannot be updated. And they both are hosted, but they throw reference error. Now let us discuss some interview question based on this topic. So a lot of questions can be asked based on let, where and const. So most of them would be related to input output. So where you will be given a question and you need to tell the output and explain the interviewer like how this particular code works. So we have discussed most of the scenarios in this video only. I will be putting up all these input output question in the article, and you can check that article on crackingthefrontendinterview.com. I will put up the link in the description below. And then there could be some theory questions as well, like what is the difference between let, where and const, or why let and const were introduced in ES6 when where was already there to declare variables. So these can be some straightforward theory questions that can be asked to you, or simply someone can ask like tell me about some of the new features that were introduced in ES6, and there you need to mention let and const as well. So I will be putting up all this question in the article, and you can visit crackingthefrontendinterview.com to read more about this concept. That's all for now. If you enjoyed this video, then please like and share this video and subscribe to this channel for more interesting videos. Keep learning. Thank you.